Hello, lovely humans, and welcome back to another episode of Heather's Hot Mess Express. Now, I know most of you guys know that I am a physical therapy student, and that keeps me all kinds of busy. And the last few days have definitely been very much filled with the whole stressy, lack of sleep, joyousness, which means that your girl has been struggling to make good decisions with food. However, in spite of the copious amounts of pizza that I have been inhaling, it was delicious. Too much, though. But in spite of that, I am still going to the gym.
Yeah, baby.
And this is kind of big for me today because this is the first time I've been to the gym in months. I don't have a full workout plan in place yet. I am working on it, but I at least know what I want to do for leg days, and that is what today is, so it shouldn't be too crazy. Now, I want you guys to make sure to stay tuned in the next couple of weeks because I do want to start a new series about workouts and what to do and where to start. Especially when you have absolutely no idea what you're doing or how to even start. Because I feel like a lot of people can give advice for someone who is not quite a newbie, somewhere like mid-level on how to make things better. But not a lot of people cover the what the heck to do when you're totally lost. And that's what I'm gonna do. But first, a workout.
I didn't get to film the entire workout because I was, busy working out. But I did get a few shots of things such as hamstring curls, the adductor machine, and of course, the leg press, which is my absolute favorite machine in the entire gym.
1 hour later.
Do y'all know how dang hard it is to run to your car in the rain after you've done a leg day? It was not happening. I am soaked, my glasses are all kinds of speckled, I am freezing, but it was actually kind of refreshing, although I was not, running was just, I was trying to run and my legs were like, girl, we tired, we're not doing this. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna be wet and try to be refreshed by it. But, y'all, okay, so in spite of being all besprinkled or whatever, which is not a word, I feel wonderful right now. Please excuse the noise of the rain in the background. Isn't it beautiful? But your girl kicked some butt at the gym tonight. Like, my legs are all wobbly. Oh my god, I'm making up words tonight. Wobbly? Who says that? Anyways, so it was crazy. I did a 10-minute warm-up on the elliptical, and then I had to fight through hordes of teenagers just to get through all the machines that I wanted to use. But it was worth it, even though the leg press got saved for last after I was completely pooped, but sometimes you just gotta wait when there's only one. I'm proud of myself for going. I was actually just really happy to see that I did not lose as much strength as I thought I had from just working out at home here and there kind of sporadically. And so I was like, yay! So I feel really good about myself right now, and to reward myself for getting off my butt, I am gonna go, not to get more food because that is what I would normally do, but I'm instead gonna go on a little thrift store shopping, not spree, but a calm perusing of some fabulousness to see what I can find, because your girl needs to get some business casual outfits because she shrunk too much to fit her old ones, and I need them for clinicals. So I'm gonna have a little fashion show with you guys right afterwards, and I want to show you all that if you have to dress business casual and you are a fluffy lady, you can still look cute. At least if you're partial to ridiculously bright items, this is gonna be right up your alley. Stay tuned.
So the thrift store trip went beautifully. I had an absolute field day, found all kinds of business casual things. So as I mentioned before, I do have to have business casual attire for my next clinical rotation. And since your girl lost a little weight, I had to buy some more. I honestly believe that you do not have to blend in just because you're a big girl, okay? If you like the bold, polka dotted patterns and colors, freaking wear it. Wear whatever the heck you want, but I want to share with you guys some of my rules for me, not that you had to follow, just if you want to, but the rules for me that I use when I'm looking for business casual clothes to help me find things that I feel like are flattering, that can be put together well. So, let the fashion show begin. So I actually wore this today. It's a high-waisted pant with a little bow on the side. This one is courtesy of Torrid. They do everything beautifully. If you are fluffy and there is a Torrid nearby you, for the love of God, go shopping. They're pricey, which is why I usually buy Torrid, but from the thrift store. But With this outfit, I have what is technically actually a small jacket that I've decided to use as a vest instead because I thought it was cute as heck. For this, I usually try to have some sort of structure. I used to always have really, really baggy clothes or really, really stretchy, like I was trying to hide behind them, and it actually made me look a lot bigger. I find that if I have something that is structured, like a blazer of some sort, or in this case, a sleeveless vest, because your girl is going to be doing some physical therapy and doesn't want to be having a heat stroke in the clinic. But if you find something that is structured, it adds sometimes, or in this case, a little bit of edge to the outfit, but also just kind of helps to make that clean line where things look more flattering. Also, you can of course wear this without the jacket. And my big thing for clinicals is that the girls have to be hidden because if I'm bending over to say hello to a patient, it doesn't need to be like, hello there. No one needs that. That is not what you get with physical therapy. So the girls have to be covered. If it is sleeveless, it has to be like appropriately sleeveless, not spaghetti strap, and something that I can, like squat in. I'm not, dropping like it's hot or anything like that. It's just that I have to be able to bend. Like if I'm showing my patients how to do a squat, I have to do a squat, and no one wants the butt of their pants ripping through because they were so doggone tight. So my business casual rules are a little extra. High-waisted is totally fine. You do not have to be scared of that if you're a big girl. Yes, it might accentuate your donut pouch just a wee bit. However, with this particular set of pants, I like them because they're a little bit looser but still structured. Like it's not clingy in weird areas. A lot of those high-waisted jeans, they like suction it. Oh, also I just really love this top because it's bright. I have a thing for like the little ruffles. I feel like I'm like old school running the White House, except for not so badly. Outfit number 2. These guys are from Catos. Occasionally I will find them at the thrift store. Catos in particular is really good about having either like the, like fancier capri or more preferably the ankle cutoff pants. I like the little ankle cap ones because your girl is tall, and if I wear something that is supposed to be, to the end of my legs, inevitably it's ankle capped anyways, but looks off balanced. So with either the capri fit or the little ankle caps, I feel like I get to look a little bit fancier because these are like dress capris and they're very slimming. So these also have the high-waisted pants, in this case, or the high-waisted top. In this case, it's to kind of suction in the donut pouch and then your shirt goes over it so it looks nice and smooth. Before I started dressing better, I was terrified of anything that was like above belly button level because I thought it was gonna make me look like old and frumpy, but it's more of like, how do I put things in a way where they are flattering and not muffin topping on out? Peplum top, form-fitting, nice and happy. It's a little bit structured and the necklace kind of zhuzhes it up a little bit. And of course, it's bright. Next up, we have super comfy slacks that also have a good stretch so your girl can bend. Haven't the faintest idea what brand they are because someone at the thrift store cut off the tag, but they are comfy. If you are going for slacks, there is the super structured ones which look all neat and crisp. But if you need to move, those don't work because you'll crack them down the butt. So the stretchy cotton ones that are kind of thick so they're still flattering and not like, hey cellulite, look at me. Those work beautifully. Like most of my other pants, they go to at least belly button level to, hold it in. And on top, we have a nice little, checked plaid. I don't know what you want to call this. Square box thing moment where it's a little bit sheer and we've got the red tank top underneath. I will say, depending on how sheer your upper top is, you might need to wear something more than just a tank top underneath so it doesn't look too like scandalous. This one is not super sheer, you just get a hint of the color, so I love it. Layers are fabulous, especially breathy ones, so you're not like burning to death. Honestly, I saw a shirt very similar to this on Beatrice Caruso's channel and was like obsessed for the longest time because it was super cute, and then like found something similar at the thrift store and lost my mind. Anything with a V-neck, you get the chance to show off your obscenely extravagant collection of costume jewelry that you've had for like 20 years. And you can of course alternate what color of bright tank top you wear underneath. Bring that color out. This is, I think, what's called a French tuck. I don't know how well I'm doing it. I might need to consult with that whole like Queer Eye show, which is super fabulous for fashion. But got that from 10 on there, so we'll see how well that looks. But I'm having fun trying new things, and hopefully you guys are too. But ultimately, if you like it, that's what matters most. Now, if you do have a pair of basic black slacks, you should absolutely take advantage of that and pair it with some very bright, vivacious tops. You can also take a basic, comfy, but slightly dressier t-shirt. I say dressier because it has these little like black speckles. I don't know why that makes it dressier to me, it just does. But you can take this shirt and zhuzh it up a little bit with a vest or a blazer. Again, that kind of structured appeal that really just fancifies it a little bit and frankly makes it a lot easier if you're running late for work and you're like, crap on a cracker, what do I wear today? Now, many of us fluffy ladies are a little bit heavy set in other areas and have difficulties with shirts like these. It's kind of cute business casual pattern wise, but then you run across two problems. The girls trying to escape, and also the fact that the straps are a little bit too skinny to be appropriate for a business casual environment. So one, you can wear a tank top underneath, try and find one that is the same color or like an accent color, so I would do black or like an off-white. Cover the girls that way you can, you know, bend and not be like, hello. And then you can take that opportunity to show off your obscene amount of blazers that you have accumulated from Torrid over the years. Seriously, it's ridiculous how many blazers I have. So many blazers. If you ever just want to get like the staple pieces, go to Catos, go to Torrid. Fill everything else, like the cute little fluffy shirts like this, from the thrift store, because that's what you find cheap and what is way overpriced in every other store. But the staples, you want to make sure they are like on point. Or if you get lucky like me, find a thrift store that actually sells stuff from Torrid. Now there are two other aspects of business casual but still bold. Hello, that was very cute. Come here. Ugh. Okay, so there are two other aspects of business casual but still bold. Thank you, cat hair. That you have to keep an eye on, that you can absolutely rock the heck out of. You can, instead of going with a neutral slack, go with a neutral top. This is basically just kind of like a short sleeved little sweater, but it's a little bit thinner. It is a little bit more snug than I would like, so I would say maybe not quite that form hugging, but you can go with a neutral top. Are you smelling my hair? Hi, you're very cute. Okay, so go with a neutral top, pair it with a nice little necklace to zhuzh it up, and go bananas and bold with your pants choices. I will say both Target and especially Walmart have a ton of these like legging jeggings, but they're thicker so you can still get away with it at a business casual place. I will say if you have more junk in the trunk, in some instances, certain sizes might cling a little bit too much to be appropriate for like business casual at your job. So, you know, it depends on the place. But overall, especially at the thrift store, because these have been out for years, you can find a lot of very, very bold colored pants that you can wear as slacks to work. And I would say if you have something that's in like the legging jegging combo, just make sure that whatever you wear covers at least most of your butt, because you're not trying to put that on display. You know, it is a business appropriate workplace. So it works out really nicely if you're like, hey, I've got fitted pants, but my top's a little bit looser, it's a little more structured though, and I can still be bold on the bottom. You just can't bring your cat to work as much as he would like it. The second thing you can do, let's say you have a pair of normal slacks, not crazy bendy, but you can do a little wiggle, you can lift some legs, because, you know, lifting, pulling, whatever PTs do, you get the idea. Let's say you're struggling a little bit in the morning, and you're like, okay, all I have is this basic t-shirt. Well, if the t-shirt is your undershirt, and this is the stretchy thing, I usually try to pair it with something to, of course, zhuzh it up, because that's my favorite word of the day. But any sort of like flowy, bright sweater, shawl thing, whatever you want, I would say shawl. Anything you pair it with in the shawl family, I would make sure that since this is stretchy, that this is a little bit more structured, you know, not stretchy. It looks a little bit more, not necessarily form-fitting. Like you can see this is still loose, but if something on there isn't like clingy and the other thing is, I feel like it at least does a little bit more to kind of bring it up to business casual as opposed to just casual, and I usually pair it with a necklace. I was not kidding when I said I had a ridiculous amount of costume jewelry. Yes, there is a traditional look in the office. Some of these things you might have to adjust a little bit depending on what your office setting is. But the reason I wanted to show you guys all these things and all these different styles and how you can wear them is not because you have to, it's just so you know your options. I want you to know that you don't have to lose your personality just because you have a desk job or a setting where you have to be in business casual clothes. It's okay to still like bright, bold things, crazy patterns, weird jewelry, or in my case, usually weird earrings, a ton of different like animal themed earrings. It is okay to love those and keep your personality while still working at one of those jobs. You don't have to give up who you are. There are absolutely certain things that might make your outfit look a little bit more flattering to your figure. And to clarify, I have an hourglass figure for the most part, although it's a little hourglassy in the front right now. I'm working on it. Different things will look good on different shaped bodies. What looks good on me might not necessarily look good on you, and vice versa. But take the time, go make some fashion risks. Try something new, see what you like. So, go try on some clothes, girl. Also, thanks for hanging out with me while I tried on like 90% of my closet. And as with any random video, blog, vlog, whatever you want to call it, there has to be a portion that includes some food. So I want to show you guys a salad that I whipped up and fell in love with a few months ago, but actually never got around to publishing. So enjoy the bonus. I stumbled across this recipe on Pinterest quite a while ago, and I love it. The original recipe calls for regular beets, and I specifically use the golden ones instead because they're a little bit sweeter. Wash off your beets, wrap them in foil, and bake them in the oven at 400 degrees for about an hour or until you can put a fork through them and they're nice and tender. At the same time, you can also roast a handful of pepitas. If you are unsure of what pepitas are, they are just pumpkin seeds without the little shells on the outside. Sometimes they can be a challenge to find. You can remove the skin from the beets by running them under some warm water and just kind of pushing it off with your thumbs. Fair warning, they will look disgusting. Then take a second to cut them up into tiny pieces and they are good to go. To make your dressing, whisk together 3 tablespoons of olive oil and 2 teaspoons of red wine vinegar with a pinch of salt and pepper to taste. Ta-da! For leafy greens, the original recipe calls for arugula. You can also do an arugula mixed with baby spinach if you think arugula is just a smidge too bitter. Then throw everything together and don't forget to add a generous sprinkle of goat cheese because it's amazing on top. Enjoy! That is good. Thank you guys for going on the adventure with me today while I got my butt back to the gym, got in some fabulous new-ish clothes, and tried some new recipes. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and comment down below. And if you want to see me doing some more active stuff, like getting my splits finally, maybe you should check out this video right here. Bye-bye.